Alright, so now that I have gotten a decent amount of questions, I can actually go ahead and answer a few. Well, not a few, all of them, but a few sounds better, bear with me. So I'm going to start off with the first one that was asked of me, which is, what does pure joy feel like for you, / would you be able to describe it? Honestly, the first thing I think of when describing pure joy for me is actually a color. So I think of the color yellow. Like whenever I'm feeling like real joy, I'm feeling yellow in a certain way. Kind of glowing though, but generally speaking, and I haven't necessarily had sort of full array of life experiences that would be able to sort of corroborate this perfectly. But based on the experiences I have had, I would say it's an energizing feeling for me. I do more, and I am more sort of extroverted after having experienced it. It's a confidence boosting feeling, and this I can definitely corroborate. Because even like the little things that might suggest otherwise don't exist. So basically, when I'm experiencing pure joy, I am sort of more confident and more energized to do things. Sort of lowered inhibitions, that kind of deal. it's a little like being drunk, but it's not. Because it wholly originates from myself ultimately. So that's mainly how I describe pure joy, honestly. I'm trying to think, like maybe what causes it. I feel like that's not really what it is, and I feel like you're getting at something that's different than what I'm saying here, but the sort of color of it and the energizing effect of it, like that surge, really like sort of the nature of the feeling itself. So, all right. Can you fortune tell, O wise one? I like this one. I forget who asked this, but that was kind of hilarious. But if I am to tell the fortunes of man, then I must don the proper accent. For you see, if one is not using a, shall we say, Franklin Delano accent, then one is not truly doing anything when one pontificates. Now, if I am to fortune tell, well, I would have to know you a bit better. Perhaps I shall look over your profile after this questionnaire is over. And then we can discuss your fortunes. I just realized you could actually be kind of serious with this one. I just figured you were fucking with me, but and then that's not in a bad way, but in a way that would have actually been entertaining. Here, you know what? I'm gonna actually go ahead and try and do it based on what little I know of you. So I shall go on to Typology Center and log in. Alright, this is going to take a bit, and it's going to kind of be weird to record it. So I'm just going to talk through as I do this. Just so that it's not just dead air the whole time. Let's see, there's my thread. Who is asking? Okay, yeah, you're a hard one to figure out, frankly. I mean, if I were to guess based on incredibly limited knowledge of you, I would say you're gonna settle pretty quickly. Just find something comfortable and probably hang out. You almost seem like you end up just being a stay-at-home parent. I don't know why I think. Actually, I do know why I think that, but the very sort of personal commitments and lack of sort of larger goals, I guess. I don't know. That's the best I got for you. I could go on about something else, maybe, but you have to specify what I want a fortune tale about. I don't feel totally comfortable answering about something like, I don't know, America yet. That's going to depend on a lot of information I don't necessarily have at this very moment, so I'll guess that later, I guess. Next question. What are your strengths and weaknesses? This is a funny question to me, because I was just doing job training, and I'm doing an interview tomorrow. But, if I were to describe my strengths, I would say when my bulb is made to roll, like I can keep it rolling on very little, I guess. Like I was just sort of doing a project in the job training program where I had to basically sell a job that basically nobody would want to people, and my group was sort of like kind of not really doing anything because they basically just sort of gave up before they began. And I did not. I actually went ahead and started trying to conceive of ideas about like how we could sell it, and we actually, came with a good presentation. I don't always do that. Like with sort of essays and writing assignments, I can sort of give up more often. But if I have sort of a group and if I'm sort of interacting, like that can keep me sort of going for much longer than I otherwise would. And when I am going like that, I can go for a long time. Let's see, other strengths. I would go ahead and say that there is a certain, I don't know, like a lack of bias I possess. And that's through, many years of careful sort of self-training and all that. That has allowed me to sort of see things a bit more clearly and, like, not fly off the handle when dealing with people. It can also be a weakness sometimes. Sometimes you sort of, like, you don't necessarily have enough information and you hear sort of two arguments and one of them's clearly right. That's not necessarily a good thing. But, when they aren't necessarily so unevenly matched, that's a different story, and that's a good thing. Then you want to, like, learn about it and understand it. See, I would say demeanor is also a good one. I can appear when I want to, fairly personably, for a limited amount of time. So after a while, I sort of, like, run out of things to say in that front, but for a little bit of time, I can basically sort of appear personable and, allow myself to, basically, what would it be? Like, it would be sort of like, become liked, essentially. As far as weaknesses go, say a pretty big one is that you have to get sort of my ball rolling to make me sort of, like, complete things. It's like there are certain types of things that I need to, like, use techniques to complete if I'm going to complete them, or that I may sort of take a while to do that others might not take a while to do, like with essays and, like, written things. Doing those has always been a bit harder for me, so I think that would probably be a weakness. Let's see. Aside from that, I can sometimes. I'm not usually hung on little things, so it's not that I'm hung on little things, but there are certain little things that I do get hung up on, and sometimes like just with work and sometimes just with my personal self, uh, and that might affect the job, so to speak. Um, and last but not least, I would say I guess I'm a little easy to pressure in like certain ways. Like if somebody sort of needs something, they can guilt me pretty easily, or not even guilt, but like shame me pretty easily into doing it. You know, those people all the time. It's like it's a thing where it's like I feel like I'm an asshole if I don't, and that's sort of thing that will happen. Like if somebody's just sort of like in the, in need of some kind of assistance or some kind of like break, so to speak. So there is that. Next question. If a crystal ball could tell me the truth of myself, my life, and the future, or anything else, what would I want to know? Well, let's see. I don't know. Hold up with this. There we go. That's a little better. I'm gonna try and reposition myself from the camera. For all you visual typers out there, I'm giving myself a little extra video. But I mean, I could go for broke and just like ask about what my impact will be on the world around me, because I want to know that. But I would also be afraid of the answer. So you could sort of see some problems there. But I don't know. I guess I mean, if I could go like the very broadest scan possible, I would go ahead and optimize it and maybe go ahead and ask it, like, what are the top 10 or top 30 best ways to affect and really change the world around you in the current context in detail. It would take a while to get the answer to that, of course, but at the same time, it's very, very fun little abuse of that system. And I would still be able to know I could, or believe I could do it. So that's nice. Now, as for realizations about myself in the past that have been surprising or unexpected. Man, I think that I actually can be hardworking sometimes. It's a big one. Like, I always refer to myself as a lazy person because there's certain types of assignments that I do I'm not necessarily inclined to stay focused on. But over time, I've sort of had like enough experience with like different things, especially in my recent college experience, to show that like when I actually kind of like want to and feel motivated to it, and like I have like a situation that's more conducive to it, I can really sort of like press myself into something, like put my nose to the grindstone, all that. Aside from that, I guess that I cannot need romantic love and be fine, because I actually in my high school and middle school days I sort of was obsessed with that on some level, and wasn't even really so much because I wanted it so much, just because like it just like seemed like a milestone I had to sort of pass into. Maybe someone's going to say that is definitely proof you are in fact an E2, and you know what? That's fine. It's actually kind of a cool idea for a type. I mean, I don't like a lot of the 2s I've met. 2 and 3s anyway. But, yeah. Those two things have been pretty noteworthy. I don't really have anything else that I can think of that's been terribly surprising or unexpected. Just, I mean, maybe can sort of add to that the fact I don't enjoy the conventional forms of sex that much. Not really. It's not like a fetish. It's more like I don't know, something else. But that is pretty much all, folks.